Hey, hi, welcome to Chapter 6, Learning Objective 2. Explain the bank reconciliation. So this is an important thing. Hopefully many of you are doing at your own home for your own bank accounts. I know a lot of times people do not do these anymore, but it's an important exercise everyone should do monthly. For a business, it's especially important to do it monthly, and it's an audit control. Your auditors come and look at it. It's a good cash control, good way to check on your separations of duties. Okay, so process of reconciling the checkbook balance with the bank balance given on the bank statement. So your checkbook balance is the balance like your cash account. What is your general ledger a cash account ending balance as of the month versus a bank balance that you get from a bank statement, the ending balance of the bank statement. Okay, so the steps: calculate deposits and transits and outstanding checks. So deposits and transits are deposits that, maybe you get checks into your company and you record the journal entry of the checks in your general ledger, but they haven't physically made it to the bank yet. So maybe somebody takes them to the bank and deposits them manually. Maybe someone puts in an envelope and does bank by mail, fills out the deposit slip, and it takes a couple days for it to get to the bank. Maybe you do the online banking and it takes a day to clear or so. So that's a deposit in transit. A deposit that's recorded on your books, in your general ledger, in your cash account, but has not hit the bank yet. Outstanding checks is kind of the same philosophy, same kind of problem, where you cut checks, you deducted them out of your cash account in your general ledger, but they have not cleared the bank yet. So you write a check for your rent, you mail it out to the company, and it takes them a couple days to deposit in and for it to clear. Well, meanwhile, it might be in your general ledger balance, but not necessarily cleared the bank yet. So that's a reconciling item. You also you recognize service charges and fees. So the bank sometimes charges you fees that you may not know about until the end of the month when you get your bank statement. So you have to go back and record journal entries on your cash account for these service fees. Okay, so here, this is a common bank reconciliation that it looks like, if you do get a bank statement in the mail or online, this is usually the back of the bank statement where it'll give you a place to list your outstanding checks and to do a quick and easy reconciliation, entering your bank statement balance down to your adjusted balance that should equal your cash balance in your general ledger. Okay, so when you do have a service charge, like I said, you have to do a journal entry, on the last day of the month or whenever that was charged to your bank account. So it's just a service charge expense, a bank fee expense, you're debiting and crediting cash. Okay, additional transactions, additional reconciling items, an NSF check, a not sufficient funds check, a check that has been returned because the drawer did not have enough money in its account to pay the check. So you may have one of your customers gave you a check, it bounced, they did not have $500 in their account, so therefore you don't have $500 in your account that you thought you did at the time you did the deposit on your cash account. So you got to reverse that out, and quite often there is like a $30 to $50 fee associated with that you have to record. A debit memorandum is a deduction from the account holder's balance for some reason. And a credit memorandum is an increase in the account holder's balance. And a credit or a debit memorandum could just be a bank error, where they cashed you for the wrong amount or something. So that's how they record errors. Okay, step-by-step instructions for preparing a bank reconciliation. Prepare a list of deposits in transit. Prepare a list of outstanding checks. Record any bank charges or credits. Compute the cash balance per your books. Enter bank balance on the reconciliation. Total the deposits in transit. Total the outstanding checks. Compute the balance per the reconciliation, and the result should equal the balance shown in your general ledger. So trends in banking, more and more, nowadays, and especially with COVID, a lot of people use electronic funds transfer. It's a way to transfer funds electronically without the use of paper checks. An automatic teller machine allows customers to make deposits, withdraw money, obtain account balances without having to stand in line when the bank is open. I'm sure you are all familiar with an ATM. Okay, advantages of online banking. They never close. They're always available 24/7. Transaction speed, you generally should not have deposits in transit. If you're doing it right away, it's just really fast. You won't have reconciling items on your bank statement. It's efficient. You can access and manage all of your bank's accounts from one secure site. Effectiveness, many online banking sites now offer sophisticated tools to help you manage all of your assets more effectively. The disadvantage of online banking, startup may take some time. In order to register, you will probably have to provide some personal identification and sign a form at a branch bank. Banking sites can be difficult to navigate at first. Bank site changes. Even the largest banks periodically upgrade their online programs, adding new features in unfamiliar places. Trust. For many people, the biggest hurdle to online banking is learning to trust it. Phishing involves fake emails that attempt to obtain information about online banking customers. Skimming is the theft of credit card information used in an otherwise legitimate debit card or credit card transaction. Tips to help you avoid becoming a skimming victim. Keep your PIN safe. Watch out for people who try to help you at the ATM. Look at the ATM before using it. If it doesn't look right, don't use it. If an ATM has unusual signage, don't use it. If your card is not returned after the transaction, or press and cancel, immediately contact the institution that issued the card. Check your statement to be sure that no unusual withdrawals appear on it. So here is a bank statement. One of the most important things is this ending balance here. You have a service charge here. You have all these checks that have cleared. So any checks that have not cleared, you have to go through all the check numbers and see, okay, which ones haven't cleared would be your outstanding checklist. You have an EFT that you might have to record if it hasn't been recorded, an NSF check, a service charge for check printing. There's some interest you would have to record. So anything that wouldn't have been recorded in your general ledger, you need to record to kind of match this. Okay, so here is a formal bank reconciliation for a company. You start with your checkbook balance and your bank balance. So the balance in your cash account as of June and your ending balance as of your bank statement. Okay, here we had a couple of EFTs we needed to record that weren't recorded in our checkbook balance. We had some interest. So it would be just debit interest expense, credit cash. We had an error, so we'd have to make a journal entry for that error. We had a service charge, NSF check, and another EFT for our health insurance payment. So our reconciled balance is $25,092, which has to balance to our reconciled bank balance, okay? So we had a deposit in transit, and we had some outstanding checks here. Okay, so that concludes the end of this chapter. Make sure you know bank reconciliations. You will have to do a bank reconciliation on the test for this chapter. Good luck.